While it's not complete yet, we're going to predict the starting lineup and the rotation for the Kentucky basketball team. That's going to be the topic on today's episode of the Wildcats Today podcast. I'm your host, Stefaniak, writer and editor over at Wildcats Today, joined as always by my co-host, Carson Nash. Carson, you golfing? What's up with the Titleist hat? What are we doing here?
No, I just, I haven't worn it in a while. I kind of like it, so I had to bring it out of the closet for today.
How you been swinging the clubs well? You played the other day.
You know what? I'm getting back into the swing of things. It's a process, right? Trust the process. So we're getting there.
I'm retired officially. I've officially retired from golf. So, Carson, you and I disagree on some things here, and I think this is going to make this fun. I think this will make this a fun episode. So we're going to go through, and once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is not the complete roster. We are aware of that. There's more players coming. We'll do this again when they do. But we are going to give you a roster based on what we got right now. So, point guard. Let's get right into it, Carson Nash. Who do you got as a starting point guard for the Kentucky Wildcats in 24-25?
Yeah, this is where we saw a little bit of our disagreement. And
my pick fight before
my pick is going to be Lamont Butler. I just think that he's such a leader. He's the best on-ball defender in the country.
No question.
And he's led his team to a national championship game. So I'm going with Butler. I just think he can be a captain, in my opinion.
And it's funny because and we both did agree here. I think this is the hardest decision there was. This was the hardest decision there was by far. I love Kriisa. I love the film. He has got that dog in him. He's got that, like, I'm going to kill you. Like, I love that. He's got that. He's got everything you need to be a dominant player. Did you see him going up against Luka Doncic and like I think we talked about that the other day. When he committed. He's just like in his face, crap talking, like the best player in the NBA. Like,
did you see what Pope said about him? He said that he's going to wear number 77 next year. And someone asked, like, oh, isn't that Luka's number? And Kerr goes, I wore that way before he did. He stole it from me. I just like that attitude.
I love it. And so who's the better on-ball defender between these two? Not even a conversation, ladies and gentlemen. Not even a conversation. I do want to pull up Lamont Butler's numbers on assists last year. I'd like to see that. I'm going to pull it up as I give my point here. But I think that looking at Kriisa, I love his ability to pass the basketball. So Lamont Butler, 3 assists a game. That's not a bad number. I mean, I'm pretty sure that'd have been, I think Kentucky's leader was 4. That's not a bad number. I just think Kriisa is an incredible passer. He does the finesse, beautiful passes, but he does them. You ever watch a basketball game, Carson? You're like, no, someone does one of these cross court between the legs with a little spin on it passes. You're like, why? Why are we doing that? It's not that. Like, his crazy passes are coordinated. They seem to make sense. I really like the way that Kriisa passes the ball. He can score. He can shoot. Not to say Butler can't score. He can score. He's proven that during his career. I just like his ability to facilitate and shoot more than Butler's. When it comes to defense, there's no debate. Yeah. Butler takes the cake there.
This is a good argument, too, because I think Kerr was also in a really bad situation last year at West Virginia. Huggins had that situation, and he wasn't able to coach. He committed to Huggins. He didn't commit to the other. Their team kind of fell apart. So he was in a really bad situation. But before that, he had led Arizona to great records and great success. So I really do think this could be a big bounce back season for Kerr.
Yeah. And when you say bounce back, it's funny because the numbers were fine. Like, it was, it just the success of his team wasn't fine.
Yeah.
Sometimes as a facilitator, a little bit of that can come down on you, but I don't think any of this was on him. Trey Mitchell left. People got out early from there, but so that's the point guard position. And like I said, answer that one for us in the comments, ladies and gentlemen, because you could really go either way on this one. I'm sure we're going to have some people saying Kerr and some people saying Lamont Butler. The folks that are like, I can't watch any more of this, no defense stuff, all Lamont Butler, all in. I'm in on that. I'm with you. Because once again, like, I'm not going to punch a wall if Lamont Butler starts. I think he's great. I think I hate that both of them can't be on the floor, in all honesty, because they bring different things that this team needs. And I love that. So I love what we got at point guard right now. So at the 2 and 3, we have some interesting. So Carson and I agree here. On 24/7 Sports, they have Otega Owe listed as a 3 and Kobe Bray listed as a 2. In all honesty, I think the way that this is going to work out next season, and I think you agree with me on this, Carson, I think these are going to be somewhat interchangeable. So I have Otega Owe as my starting 2 and Kobe Bray as my starting 3. And I think you agree on that. If you want to flip them, you can flip them. Like that's fine too. But Owe is an elite defender. For the backup at 2, I have Travis Perry. If you've watched Travis Perry play, he can handle the basketball, but he's best off ball because he moves without the ball better than I write this in articles all the time. He moves without the basketball better than anybody I've ever seen. He is always running.
Like Klay Thompson. He's better without the ball, without dribbling.
Catch and shoot, bang.
Mm-hmm.
I loved watching him play. So what are your thoughts on you kind of give us your thoughts on both of these? And then I have Trent Noah as the backup 3. So kind of our 2 Kentucky kids as backups at the 2 and 3. But give me your thoughts on Otega Owe and Kobe Bray, Carson at the 2 and 3. How you feel about them?
Yeah, see, these are 2 guys, and you're right. They're interchangeable because on the defensive end, I think we're going to have Otega play against the smaller guards just because he can bully them around. Yeah. So I'd say Otega is probably more of a 2 on the defensive end, but offensively it's interchangeable, like either one. And I think one of these 2, if not both, are going to take huge leaps this year. One of the 2 is going to blow up, whether that be Bray or Otega, but they both have the ability to go crazy this year.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I think that you're going to get more offense from Bray, and you're going to get more high intensity defense from Otega Owe, but I do think Otega is going to score Otegatron, which is still going to be, that needs to really become a thing. We need to make sure that does become a thing. Yeah. I think he's going to still score. I bet he gives you 10 a game, but I think he's going to be that lockdown defender. If Otega Owe gives you 10 a game, I think Kentucky can be a top 15 team because you know what he's going to give you on the defensive side of things. So if he can add 10 points per game, which isn't an easy ask for a guy who's probably not going to be your main scoring threat. And then, Travis Perry and Trent Noah, I'm going to be brutally honest. I don't foresee them end up being the backups there. I think you're going to see more guys come in. I think you're going to see more additions. We know that you're going to see more additions.
And I would probably, in my opinion, I would probably disagree with you on the shooting guard. I'd probably put Colin Chandler in there. Just because I think
that's true.
I think he has a lot of upside, and I think he could be probably a little more impactful because of his size.
Oh, that is true. That's funny. We forgot about Colin Chandler. Why is he not on the list here? Yeah, Colin Chandler is the backup too. Then is because he's not a point guard, is he? In your opinion, is he?
No, I don't think Chandler's a point guard. I mean, I might be surprised. I think he's a 2. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That's funny. We blanked on him. My goodness. So I think is your backup 2. I don't think he overtakes Owe. I don't think Chandler's going to end up being a project. Like, I think that you could use the word project for Travis Perry and Trent Noah. I don't think they necessarily are, but I don't think they see huge roles this year. Colin Chandler, I do think you could see a huge role there.
He's a star.
In all honesty, I think he could be the backup too. It's all going to come down to what is he? What has happened to him during his 2 years doing his mission trip? Does he still have it in him? And I know Coach Pope has dealt with this before during his time at BYU. He knows how to help these players and develop and I'm sure there's routines they go through to stay in basketball shape. So I think we're concerned about that because we don't understand it. Because, BYU fans understand that more because their players have to do that. So that's kind of my thought on Colin Chandler. Yeah, we blanked on him. Good call, Grizz. We almost swung and a miss there. But yeah, so I think he then becomes your backup too. And I think Travis Perry, I'm gonna be honest with you, I think that he slips, and I just think he becomes. But I mean, once again, you talk about Travis Perry. Look back to last season when we talked about Reed Shepard. We're like, well, he might mix in here or there. This stuff can happen. So because we're saying Travis Perry might not be a legit backup right now, he might be further back than that. Guards mix in and out a lot. We'll see what happens in Coach Pope's system. You'll see Travis Perry on the floor some this year. A ton, I don't know about a ton, but you'll see him on the floor, and I believe he will be good the following season as a legit role player. So
you heard what Pope said the other day, he said
What did he say?
Jason Hart walked into his office, which Jason Hart, one of our
Yeah.
assistant coaches, one of the best recruiters in the country. He goes, I watched the tape on Travis Perry for the first time, and wow, that kid can play.
Mhm.
So I think I'm pretty excited for Travis Perry.
Yeah, I am too. I'm with you. And then right now at power forward, it's Andrew Carr. I mean, he is so. I mean, there's no real debate or question to have here. The only debate you could have, Carson, and I've heard some people say this, and I want to run it by you. I mean, and you didn't. I ran it by you, and it looked like you kind of wanted to smack me, but
I'll give you my reason.
I want to hear your reason. And I've just seen people talking about this. I'm not saying this might not even be in the coaching staff's brain. I don't agree with it. It's just a fun conversation to have. Amari Williams at the 4, Brandon Garrison as your 5, and then Andrew Carr kind of float, it just as a backup forward who comes in and gives you scoring off the bench. I mean, I think that takes away scoring if you go, but I think that's probably a better defensive lineup. So what are your thoughts there, Carson?
Here are my thoughts. I think Andrew Carr is going to be all SEC. So I don't think that he should be coming.
Ooh, spicy.
Yeah.
Spicy. Did you get pickles on your spicy chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A? I mean, like, my goodness, that is bold, man. That was a rough
always.
one. I wish I could put that one back in the pocket. That was a rough one. I'm pulling that one back. Nobody heard that. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, but I really do believe that. I think the kid is uber talented. Mm-hmm. He's a good passer. He can score. He can create himself. He's a good post player. He's a good defender. I really do believe he's going to take that next step, and I think he'll be an all SEC player.
Okay. All right. That's fair. And then Amari Williams and Brandon Garrison are going to be your 5s. I know we assume Amari's going to be out there as a starter. We both agree there, but I'll let you tell me about the 5s here in a minute, Carson. But I'm just telling you, ladies and gentlemen, please do not sleep on Brandon Garrison. Former McDonald's All-American. He did a lot well last year. I think he's going to take a step forward. I really do. I think he's a player that is a high upside dude. I think he's going to be really good down the road. So I like this kid a lot. Yeah. Yes, Amari's your starter. No debate there. But I think Brandon Garrison, this year he's going to be a stud, and then next year he's going to be potentially like a all SEC preseason type of player. So what are your thoughts on the center position?
Garrison has crazy upside. Crazy. I mean, he's so fluid. He's a great passer, and he is a fantastic defender. And I mean, he can score too. But I don't think he's as well rounded as of right now as like an Andrew Carr or even an Amari Williams. But that'll come. That'll come with more playing time, more practice. But good Lord, does he have upside? That kid can be special.
Through the roof. I'm telling you. And, it's funny. When I read to you his height and weight, he just sounds like the typical he's 6'11", 245. He is your typical 6'11", 245-pound center. You know what I mean? Like, when I hear 6'11", 245, I can just picture it in my brain. Like, I know exactly what that looks like. And it's Brandon Garrison, and he plays basketball exactly the way you would anticipate someone who's 6'11", 245 pounds to play basketball. He can score back to the basket. He's got a little bit of a midi. He's got a little bit of mid-range jumper. It's one that you might go, no, okay, that'll be okay. That'll work. But I mean, that'll be something he'll develop because, if he wants to be an NBA player, you got to be able to shoot at all positions nowadays. So if he wants to be an NBA player, he's got to develop a jump shot. We'll see what Coach Pope has to say about him shooting jump shots. Well, that's his thing. But and then Amari, he's going to come in. I think he's got a shot to lead the SEC in blocks. I think he's going to give you 10 to 12 a game. I think he's going to rebound the basketball at a high level, and we already know how he can pass. He's going to be a truly do-it-all big man for the Wildcats, and I cannot wait to watch him play.
Yeah, he's a brick house. I mean, it's going to be nice having somebody down there that's like a Punisher. We haven't had that in a while.
Yeah, I'm with you. on that. So, Carson, I mean, that's the whole lineup. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to run back through this once this lineup is complete and we know, everybody, the roster's done, and we know all of your starters and your backups. We'll run through this and give our predictions. Carson, any other thoughts before we call it a day?
No, but I mean, you're right. All this is going to change because I think we're in good standing with a couple of guys. I think we need the I would like to have those two guards, Lanier and Robinson, one of them for sure. And then I think you should go get a backup forward just for some depth. But I think if you do that, you're looking at a really, really good team. I'm really excited about that.
I'm with you. I'm excited about this lineup. Let us know y'all's thoughts in the comments. Do you disagree with any of us on any of these positions? Is someone going to start that we don't have? Let us know y'all's thoughts in the comments. But that is going to do it for today's episode of the Wildcats Today podcast. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Really helps the show a ton. Appreciate y'all so much. Hope everybody has a great rest of your Saturday, and we will see you next time.